July 3rd. Call this meeting to order, and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation by Councilman Byrd. Thank you, sir. Moving right along, we have no special. Gosh, I didn't even get past that one yet. Thank you, sir. Have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. Thank you. We have no special presentations this evening. So, Madam Clerk, let's get started on ordinances, final read.
An ordinance amending Chattanooga City Code Part 2, Chapter 2, Article 6, Sections 2581 through 2586 relating to the Memorial Auditorium.
All right, what's the pleasure of the council?
Move to approve. Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Thank you. B, please.
An ordinance hereinafter, also known as the fiscal year 2018-2019 operations budget, providing revenue for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2018 and ending June 30, 2019, appropriating same to the payment of expenses of the municipal government, fixing the rate of taxation on all taxable property in the city, and the time taxes and privileges are due, how they shall be paid, when they shall become delinquent, providing for interest and penalty on delinquent taxes and privileges, amending Chattanooga City Code Part 2, Chapter 2, Sections 267, relative to paid leave for active duty training, and to amend Chattanooga City Code Part 2, Chapter 31, Sections 3136, 3137, 3141, and 3143, Sections 31322 and 31354.
Councilwoman Burrs, followed by Councilman Gilbert.
Move approval.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Councilman Gilbert, you want to go again?
Yeah. Stacy. Oh, excuse me, Chief. I know you said this last week. Can you repeat this again this week when it comes to the seniors tax break? Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, sir. So as we proposed it, we are going to be doing a full waiver of water quality fees for anyone who's in the Senior Citizen Tax Freeze program, which will be a waiver of all the fees currently assessed and any future fees. The $11 that is being proposed as a fee increase this year would also be included in that waiver.
So in other words, both the $115 and the $11 will be waived for seniors that qualify.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, Chief, just a second. Councilman Mitchell?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Chief, and how are we paying for this?
So that would be a transfer. It does have to be, state law requires that the fees are paid, and so it would be a transfer from general operating fund to the water quality fund to pay those fees. We have to work through some logistics. There's some state law requirements. We'd have to utilize likely a nonprofit party or someone to assist in administering the program, and we're working through those details right now. So I'd have a more full report probably within 30 days.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Hey, Chief, just for clarification, I think last week we said it was the tax relief program. Just now we said tax freeze program. They are two separate programs. Which one is it?
Both.
It is both.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, let's roll call, starting with Councilwoman Burrs.
Burrs.
Yes.
Byrd.
Yes.
Coonrod. Gilbert.
Yes.
Henderson.
No.
Ledford.
Yes.
Mitchell.
Yes.
Oglesby.
Yes.
Smith.
No. Let's move on. C, please.
An ordinance appropriating, authorizing, and allocating funds to the capital improvements budget for the fiscal year 2018 through 2019.
Councilwoman Burrs, followed by Councilman Gilbert.
Move approval.
Second.
All right, see no further questions. Madam Clerk, let's begin roll call again with Councilwoman Burrs.
Burrs,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
Coonrod, Gilbert,
Yes.
Henderson, Ledford, Mitchell, Oglesby,
Yes.
Smith.
No. Let's move on to Public Works. Item D, please.
An ordinance closing and abandoning a sewer easement located at 8615 Petty Road as detailed on the attached map and subject to certain conditions.
It's a pleasure of the council. Councilman Ledford.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Thank you. We have no ordinances on first read, so Madam Clerk, let's move to resolutions. 7A, please.
A resolution approving short-term vacation rental application number 18 STVR 00030 for property located at 563 South Crest Road.
All right, Councilwoman Coonrod.
Second.
All right. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Thank you. B, please.
A resolution authorizing the use of Grass Buster Lawn Maintenance as a primary vendor for abatement services and AB Property Preservation as secondary vendor for abatement services.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Move to approve. Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. C, please.
A resolution approving the acceptance of $298,536.53 from Hamilton County as proceeds from the 2018 real property back tax sale, with $291,204.30 being applied as the city's portion, $3,142.12 being applied to city attorney fees, and $4,190.11 being applied to city treasurer costs.
Councilwoman Burrs.
Move approval.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Thank you. Madam Clerk, D, please.
A resolution expressing the intent of the city of Chattanooga to issue bonds in the aggregate amount not to exceed $8.5 million of the city of Chattanooga, Tennessee, for the purpose of paying all or a portion of the cost of the following: Greenway Farm Conference Center replacement, 3rd 4th Street Alley Program, Kane Lane Greenway Connector North, Kane Lane Greenway Connector South, complete streets on 26th Market to Wheeling, Goodwin Road, Segment 4, Patton Parkway, Shepherd Road Enhancement, Highway 153 to Airport, and sidewalks.
All right. Councilman Gilbert.
Move to approve.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. E, please.
A resolution adopting a 5-year capital improvement plan for fiscal years 2019 through 2023, subject to future revision, a copy of which is attached hereto and made a part hereof by reference.
Councilwoman Burrs, followed by Councilman Ledford.
Move approval.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. F, please.
A resolution authorizing the award of a contract to MGT Consulting Group to conduct a legal analysis and disparity study, and authorizing the city attorney to execute said contract for an amount not to exceed $175,000.
All right, I've got Councilman Gilbert, followed by Councilwoman Burrs.
I'd like to move to amend the resolution to strike MGT Consulting Group and replace with Griffin and Strong PC.
All right, that's a motion. Do I have a second? Yeah, so I was about to ask, Mr. Attorney, would you?
This has been moved and seconded. For discussion purposes, this is a correction that the proper vendor should have been Griffin and Strong. And so this replacement of it, I think there was also a request for to defer for 2 weeks. This amendment of or revision of this resolution, when it appears back on the agenda in 2 weeks, it'll have the proper vendor's name on it.
So, on the floor, Councilman Gilbert, we have the an amendment on the floor, but we yet to have the bill on the floor. So can we back up for just a moment and make sure we get the bill on the floor before we amend? Do I have a motion for that?
Yes, move to approve.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve, and then I have a motion and a second to amend. So we'll do the amendment first, and that is to replace. Councilman Gilbert, can you reread that amendment to strike the name and replace?
Move to amend the resolution to strike MGT Consulting Group and replace with Griffin and Strong PC.
Great. So we will vote first on the amendments. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Now we will vote to approve as amended.
I want to defer this for
Good.
2 weeks, please.
All right. Now I've got a motion to defer for 2 weeks. And a second. And I'm out of lights. All right, so we are moving it to defer the amended version for 2 weeks. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Thank you. Chief, please.
A resolution authorizing the approval of change order number 4 for Jacobs Engineering Group, Inc., relative to contract number W10004101, East Burnett Sewer Basin Collection System and Pump Station Evaluation Upgrades, a consent decree project for an increased amount of $32,344 for the revised contract amount of $2,674,918.17.
All right, Councilwoman Burrs, followed by Councilman Ledford.
Move approval.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. Thank you. H, please.
A resolution authorizing the approval of change order number 1 for Little John Engineering and SN and ME Company relative to contract number W120222101, Focus SSES and Rehabilitation of South Chickamauga Creek Subbasin 1, a consent decree project for an increased amount of $81,438.75 for the revised contract amount of $945,188.75.
Councilman Gilbert, followed by Councilman Byrd. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. Thank you. Aye, please.
A resolution authorizing the approval of change order number 1 for J. Combic Construction, Inc. of Cookeville, Tennessee, relative to contract number W160132201, Cityco Pump Reliability Improvements, a consent decree supported project for an increased amount of $703,797 to maintain the contingency amount of $400,000 for revised contract amount not to exceed $8,078,797.
Councilman Byrd, followed by Councilwoman Coonrod. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. Thank you. Jay, please.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Transportation to enter into an agreement with Brown Brothers, Inc. relative to contract number T170100201 for construction services associated with Passenger Street reconstruction in the amount of $278,748.32 with a contingency amount of $27,874.83 for a total amount of $306,623.15.
Councilman Byrd. All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. Great. That takes care of our agenda items, which moves us to purchases. Student purchases, Ms. Woodard.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We have 4 purchases for your consideration tonight, the first 3 being on behalf of Public Works. First, we have a blanket contract renewal for Moino pump parts to be awarded to Carl Eric Johnson, Inc., in an estimated annual amount of $150,000. Next, we have the increase of boiler and heat exchanger services to be awarded to, which is awarded to Industrial Boiler and Mechanical Company. The new total estimated annual amount will be $206,000. Next, we have 2 new blanket contracts for HVAC service, repairs, equipment, and installation to be awarded to first Mountain City Service, Inc., and second Metro Services, Inc., in a total estimated annual amount of $1.5 million. And finally, on behalf of the Youth and Family Development Department, we have the purchase of temporary summer employment for recreational programs to be awarded to Outsource Staffing LLC in the amount of $120,000.
Thank you. Councilwoman Burrs.
I have a question about the outsourced staffing.
Yes, ma'am.
What sort of positions are those?
It includes first sports temporary staff, which I believe are specifically for umpires. The second is a position of a swim instructor, and third, lifeguards.
And so why did we outsource staff as opposed to hire folks in our communities? I'm asking what, because we have umpires in the community, we have swim instructors in the community, certified, and lifeguards I know we have, because we've trained a number of them in the Y, at the Y. So why did we go to an outsourced staffing?
From our office's perspective and understanding, the HR's process did not align in enough time to be able to do that for this particular summer session.
So HR didn't get it done in time, and so we went to outsource?
Well, that wasn't the only factor, but the other alternative would be to obtain the staff through human resources process, and that process did not align in time for us to be able to get the staff in that way versus contracting it.
Just for the record, I know there are a lot of kids in the community, particularly, that have worked hard to get the training to become lifeguards and swim instructors, and they're well trained. And I would love for us to be able to reach out and give those kind of jobs to our own kids. Did we give that instruction to the outsourcing staffing people?
I'm sorry, we don't have when you say our own kids, do you mean?
We have kids that live in areas of town that need jobs. And a number of them I know, representative of our community, work at the Y, not full time, but they're extremely well trained. What I'm saying is, if we didn't have time to do it ourselves and we outsourced it, was there any instruction given to the agency about really working to employ our own kids from our own neighborhoods who are really working hard to get jobs?
Well, it was not, as far as I know, a specific specification, but just by the natural performance of this contract, it would result in employing those that are within the.
So the answer is no, we didn't do that.
If I could, if you don't mind.
So where I'm coming from is, just a comment. We're working so hard to get our kids, and we've talked about it in all kinds of ways, to get our kids employed in the summer in really neat jobs.
Right.
Okay? And there are kids who live in our community who are trained, and the only reason I know that is that not only am I a trainer, but I know that the Y trains these kids from all over the city. And so they're certified. They're the best you can get. And I was hoping that we would reach out and employ our own kids who are looking for jobs first. Or if somehow that didn't happen, that was then, this is now, that when we decided to go with a temp service, we should have said to them, look, we really want to employ our own kids because they're working hard to get jobs. And gosh knows, we're saying over and over again, we want to help our kids. We want to, and I'm just wondering why we didn't think about that. Because we're paying these people a lot of money to employ folks, and it could be going directly to some of our kids and their families. Just a comment.
No, I appreciate it, and it is a local staffing company, so they are looking locally
I got that.
for local folks. We had a terrible time, honestly, hiring lifeguards last year. which was part of the reason that we did look at temp staffing this year to broaden our net and to have more people out helping us find lifeguards. We really were afraid that we weren't going to be able to have the number of hours open for our pools last year and again this year because we've had so much trouble employing lifeguards. So, you know, I think some of the things that you mentioned, being able to do off year during the school year, recruitment for those jobs for lifeguards might be a great idea. You know, I think those are really good ideas.
One of the things we can do is during the school year, we have trainings. We have lifeguard training year round.
Mm-hmm.
We partner with the Y, with our lunch programs
Sure.
and stuff. We could identify kids, and we could get them trained as
Absolutely.
lifeguards and swim instructors. By the way, they make great swim instructors and great lifeguards.
That's a great idea.
So that they would know they'd have a summer job instead of paying somebody else to do
To
it.
help us find.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if
that's
we
great
could
idea.
just think ahead.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You, Councilwoman? Councilman Gilbert?
Just a suggestion. I deal with temps at my other job, and what we do is recommend to the temp. If I have found a person that can fill the job needs, I say go through the temp service, and they recommend it to me. So you can do that. If Councilwoman Byrd knows some young people that wants a job, they can suggest to the temp service that here's a list of people, because they probably thank you for that, because it's really difficult to find work right now. I mean, finding people to work. So you can do that with her. You can find and tell that temp service there's some recommendations of some people that might can fit the need.
I agree with you. We've done that before as well. So that's fantastic for all of you. If you know people who are looking for temporary type employment in the summer, we would love for suggestions because people drop off during the summer. So I'm sure we still have additional slots.
Thanks.
Okay, Councilman?
Yes.
All right, I have no further comments. I'll entertain a motion on the purchases. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. Thank you, Ms. Woodard.
Thank you.
That takes us, did you have something?
I do. I have an item of other business, Mr. Chair.
Well, let's start out with you.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
We have an announcement from our IT department of an award that has come to one of our employees, and I'll have our director, Brent Messer, give you that information.
It's not so much an award as it is an interesting benefit. Mr. Brian Savinis in our department is we're all avid Google fans, and we do have contracts with Google, and they've offered to comp his trip out to California to see some new technology that's going on out there, and we just wanted to bring that to your attention. The amount was just under $1,000.
Thank you, sir. That's great. Thank you. All right, that takes us to other business on the council. Does anybody have other business? Councilwoman Coonrod.
I love it when you do that. But honestly, I just wanted to say to administration, thank you for answering our questions and making an effort to give us the answers in a timely fashion. And just for me personally, I appreciate you putting up with all of my questions that I have, and most definitely to Daisy, who always come through with honest answers. And I appreciate that. And to my comrades here, this budget cycle, I honestly got to say, we were cohesive together. Every budget won't be perfect. We know that, right? But because we all stood firm and worked together, we were able to get 3 things that was very important to all of us changed. And the administration were willing to work with us. So that was the re-entry, the lights on the Walnut Street Bridge, and the sewer. So I think we deserve a round of applause, because had we not worked together, we wouldn't have been able to get those 3 things done. So that's an improvement, and so I just appreciate that. And hopefully the next budget cycle, we can get every single thing that we're asking for. We made improvements with 3, so next year maybe it'll be 6. Thank you.
Councilman Gilbert?
Just to remind everybody, August the 4th, Rock the Block at Brainerd. That's a organization that supply book bags, uniforms, and other things for the kids. So Rock the Block, August the 4th at Brainerd Center.
Thank you, sir. Is there any other business? No? We have one item on the agenda then to move into under other business, and it's approval of renewal certification for grocery stores wishing to sell wine. Mr. Attorney?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As you mentioned, this is an approval for renewal certification. Again, we expect to see a few more of these over the next couple of months. This is for Cancun's Express, number 1, located at 7640 East Brainerd Road in District 4. I will pass this certificate for signature. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. That takes us to committee reports. Councilwoman Burrs. No report, sir. Councilman Byrd. No report, sir. Councilwoman Coonrod. No report. Councilman Gilbert.
No report.
Councilman Henderson. No report. Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Planning and Zoning Committee did meet today. We covered all items on our agenda that we will see next week on July 10th. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We will have a Public Works and Transportation Committee meeting following agenda session next week.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Oglesby. No report, sir. Good to see you, sir. All right. Moving forward, we come to the point in our agenda. Recognize persons wishing to address the council on non-agenda matters. Is there anybody in the audience today wishing to address the council? Other than Mr. Dahl and Mr. Carpenter that are on our list have spoken twice in a 30-day period. Yes, sir. All right, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. We are adjourned.